Hey guys, it's KOKOStern, and we're going to do Concept Hunter for this week, and this time we're going to do 400 Years. So, once again, a game I found up on Newgrounds. It has a very interesting concept, and also a couple of problems that we want to discuss. So, let's jump straight into the game, as we see that it is sponsored by Armor Games. And music comes in. Game by Script Builder, which is the creator of the game. And we have a bit of ambient, nice, beautiful music. And the introduction. So, he woke up sensing something. A calamity was coming. Left, right arrows to move. So, we're gonna just play along a little bit, and then we're gonna discuss what we've done. So, to stop the calamity, he only had 400 years. The game by Script Builder. So I'm a stone formation brought to life. And the music is by Kevin McLeod, I hope I'm saying that correctly. And now we reach this part. Sometimes, to overcome an obstacle, he just had to wait. And here we're introduced to the main mechanic of the game, which is waiting. I press space and I wait. We are at spring year 1 and there's 399 years left. So I'm going to press space and you can see that the seasons have passed and it's now summer, autumn, and winter. So water freezes over in winter, and apparently freezing water can hold a stone formation. But we're going to ignore that tiny detail. So if I wait a little bit longer, we've reached spring, and now it's year 2. So obviously, if we wait for infinity, we're gonna lose the game, because that's the allotted time that we have. Sometimes, to overcome an obstacle, he just had to climb a tree. So now we can go up, down, and climb trees. And now there's a tiny little bud of a tree. So obviously, the only thing I can do is wait. And as I wait, the tree will grow. The music makes it a very serene and beautiful experience. And here we continue, and sometimes the tree was in the wrong place. Now luckily, I'm in autumn, but I'm actually gonna move forward, and you see that there's pretty much nothing here other than this tiny little bud on the ground where the chestnuts were that I would have missed. But I would have reached this area, and like he said, like the narrative said, sometimes the tree was in the wrong place. So we do the only thing we can and move past the seasons. And we reach autumn. And in autumn, there are chestnuts. So press E to pick up the chestnut. Now I have it in my hand. And I go to the right and press E to plant the chestnut. Now obviously we wait. And so the tree grows and we can climb it. And here once again, let's freeze the water over so we can get past it. So, what have we had so far before I fall down here and continue? There's the passage of time, and passage of time changes the environment and changes the thing. Time passes. Other than that, we have 4 different states which correspond to the 4 different seasons. So, this is a very interesting concept, as always. And you can do a ton of things with this. So the passage of time changes the environment, and the narrative, the story is really smart. I'm a stone formation that time doesn't matter to me whatsoever, and I can just stand there and just wait for eons and eons. And let's see what else. Again, this is a very short game. It's a concept game, sort of. That's how I like calling them. And let's see what more the designer or script builder did with this concept. So I'm just going to fall down here. And as he visited the village, he saw that people were hungry. So village people, they don't mind that I'm right here. Well, they do get scared, but they get scared for about a second and then they're fine. So the only thing I can do is go left and right, and as a perfectionist and a completionist, I want to do everything, so I'll go to the left. I see that there's a ledge, I can't do anything, so I'm going to keep going to the right. And people were hungry, so I'm going to try and help them, right? And luckily it is winter. I obviously could change it to whatever I want, and the water freezes over, so I can move on to the right side. I can also wait for another season and then walk through the water, but let's go to the right side. And here we see there's something on the ground. We'll get back to that in a second. And as I move forward, sometimes to overcome an obstacle he needed a helping hand. So there isn't much in terms of what I need to do here. There's no quest log or something like that. There's the narrative trying to help me out, and it provides hints, which is nice, but it might not be enough. So I'm gonna wait, and we do see that there's wheat grains over here that I can pick up, so I'm gonna pick it up, and this grain, and since it's clasped in my hand, the water means nothing. And now I'm just going to go all the way to the left because it's the only thing that I can do. And as I go to the left, we see one of the main problems in the game. The stone formation, though it makes perfect sense with the narrative, walks so slowly. And yeah, he doesn't care about time. Yeah, he's a heavy stone formation, but he can climb trees and walk over frozen water. And he's really, really slow. So it makes sense in some cases, but other things don't make sense in terms of walking on water and climbing trees when you're so heavy, and on a stone formation weighs a couple of tons or something like that. And it really it's to the detriment of the game. It really brings it down in a slow fashion. And think about the following thing. Think about what if it wouldn't have been winter. I would have fallen to the bottom of the lake, and then would have walked to the left to see what's there. I would have walked this entire road and gotten back to the village without anything in my hand. In this case, I have the grain. And it would have taken such a long time and with no real consequences. I have to do everything again, or maybe I wouldn't understand what was going on. Luckily, I've played this game, and this is what actually happened to me. I fell, I walked to the left, and it took me such a long time. And only now I see that I can plant the grain over here. You're obviously going to wait a little bit. And now that the grain sprouted and there's wheat grain, I can actually plant it all over the village. And then obviously wait, and they're going to have lots of food. So already we saw that if you remember initially, there were just tents. And now there's actually huts. And as I finish planting everywhere, which is probably the last one, I can just wait and see that there's wheat, and well, I waited a little bit, and now they have clothes on, I guess, which is nice. Clothes are important. And that's about it, I guess. I mean, what more can I do? So I'm gonna wait for winter and go to the right and reach the area that I was in before, but there's nothing there. So what do I do now? And again, the only thing that you can do is wait. And so I'm just gonna stop about here and just wait. And what actually happens is the village is building, and now that tree is chopped down, and suddenly there's a hut over here as well. I'm gonna keep going to the right. And like the narrative said, I would need a helping hand, because I obviously can't get over that ledge. And the village built a bridge across the wide lake, and now it will build the bridge here as well, so I can move on. So we're actually going to stop here, and I don't want to spoil the story. The game isn't very long, and that's about what the concept does. It's a little bit more gameplay, and you can find out for yourself. I don't want to spoil the story. But there's a lot of good in this game. The concept is really strong. You can do a lot of things with this. I love the fact that it's so beautiful. There's calming music, and the atmosphere of the game. The whole game works around this. Time means nothing for me. I'm this stone sculpture, and in some parts, it's to the detriment of this game, because you really move too slowly. If you make a mistake and you don't understand what you need to do, then it can take a very long time, and it really shouldn't. And about knowing what to do, the narrative writings that it tells you something that pretty obvious a little bit, you need help, or you just need to wait for the tree to grow, it's nice, but sometimes it's not enough, and sometimes you really don't know what to do. As I said, I actually got stuck at this part. I just had to wait a really long time, and only then I said, oh, they're building, oh, okay, maybe the bridge, oh, okay, I got it. And it took a while. So, needs to work a little bit on, moving in general, playing through the game. Yeah, it fits to the narrative, but it's too slow. And other than that, the concept, really great, really interesting. You can do a lot of things with this, you can develop it, and you should really finish the game. It has a nice ending, a nice story, a bit more. And other than that, that's about it. That's been me for Concept Hunter. This is 400 Years, a game by Script Welder. Let me know what you think about it in the comments, and I will see you next time. See ya!